I'm Tyler Suiters in Washington at the 2010 EnergyBiz Leadership Forum, and joining me now is a semi-regular guest on Clean Skies News, David Crane, President and CEO of NRG Energy. David, good to have you back with us.
Tyler, it's great to see you.
Let's talk about the Leadership Forum and the emphasis on policy this year. You have talked about kind of a four-pronged approach for policy needs for the nuclear sector.
Well, yes. I mean, in terms of if we're going to have a true nuclear renaissance, I mean, obviously we have the nuclear provisions under the Energy Policy Act of 2005, and they provide some loan guarantee money, which is critical, expanding that. But I also think the federal government needs to get into siting of new nuclear plants, because otherwise I think we'll be here for decades. Also, I think a clean energy standard. I mean, if we're going to be very serious about zero carbon emissions, we should treat nuclear in the same way we treat solar and wind, and have a very robust federal clean energy standard.
Let's start with the fourth prong of that, which, as I read your delivery in an event about a month ago, it is the need for a streamlined licensing process, which I think seems to be agreed across the board, right?
Well, and I have to say right now, I mean, there's our project and a few others that are going through the process, and hopefully it's going at such a deliberate pace because those are the first ones through the process. But the process was supposed to be based on standardization. And if it's based on standardization, it shouldn't take a longer period of time to get your project licensed than it takes to actually build it, which is what we're currently looking at. 5 or 6 years just to get it licensed, and a lot of money.
Speaking of money, is the loan guarantee process progressing as you'd expect, or are you pleased with what's come out so far? That is the first announcement of the potential award to Southern Company and the Vogtle plant? I
think the award to the Southern Company and Vogtle, first of all, congratulations to them, but it's an enormous step forward, and it's kudos to the Obama administration as well. I think the Department of Energy has done a great job at looking at people's applications, doing a thorough review, protecting the American taxpayer. But it's time to get some of those guarantees out the door, because people are spending a lot of money to develop those projects, and they can't go forward without the loan guarantees.
You have a unique situation as a merchant generator, so to speak. Does that change your approach to seeking a loan guarantee or the way you get the financing from the private sector?
I think if anything, it makes it more essential for us. I mean, Southern Company with a big rate-based population, that it's theoretically possible that they could do their nuclear plant without one, or other similar utilities. But if you're in a merchant market, which, I mean, we're not unique, we're just different from them, but Texas, Northeast United States, California, without the loan guarantee, there's no hope of moving forward.
Let's move forward to the clean energy standard, David. Something that came about in the discussions on the nuclear title within the Senate climate bill, classifying nuclear energy as a clean baseload source of power. Is that exactly what you need in terms of turning a renewable electricity standard into a clean energy standard that would include nuclear?
Well, the clean energy standard is very important to the deregulated markets, because what renewable energy standards have demonstrated at the state level is that when that burden is imposed on the load-serving entities, they enter into long-term contracts. And nuclear plants could use that. And I would say that a clean energy standard at the federal level, where the percentages have been increased, I think it's good for everyone, because zero carbon nuclear goes alongside zero carbon wind and zero carbon solar, and all of them, and nuclear solves problems, the problems of intermittency and reliability. And so I think that they go together, and it's just a much more logical public policy than a renewable energy standard by itself.
David, final question, maybe the most difficult. Any prediction regarding Senate climate legislation this year? It's very timely right now.
Well, I mean, clearly they've got some big issues on their plate, but where I see that there's an attractive opportunity for energy and environmental legislation is that we are in an election year, and I think maybe unlike healthcare, there's quite a bit that I think that the two sides of the political spectrum can agree on in energy and environment. I don't think any American likes to be spending $1 billion of American wealth a day on foreign oil. That's left and that's right. And so I think that all the public policymakers in Washington are going to want to show going into the fall election that they've actually done something big. And I think energy and environment, and particularly the Senator Kerry, Lieberman, and Graham, 3 different political parties working together there, I think that there is cause for optimism.
All right, David Crane, President and CEO with Energy. Always good to have you with us, David.
It's always good to be here.
Thank you for joining us as well. I'm Tyler Suiters, and you're watching Clean Skies News.